Okay, so welcome to anybody who's in the chat. We are on our 13th episode, so things should go well. If you're somebody who cares about that superstitious stuff, or will it go horrible? We'll see. Um,
Mm.
so just going off of what happened last time, uh, Griff was in the temple and he went through a part of it. We came across quite a few different things between you murdering two ogres, fighting a few. Actually, it was like a clown car room of gnolls, one after the other, that you had to sort of go through and clear it like a SWAT team. And then I think that's pretty much most of what happened there until we got to the end, where you guys were about to
Mm.
leave, and you came across hearing some noises coming from a room. You guys went over to investigate, and when you went to go investigate, it looks like some earth elemental priests came by, confronted you, told you basically to fuck off, and then you came back to see if you could maybe try and save the prisoners that they were taking out of that room that you went to investigate. Um, you came across them and a giant rock creature with all these runes across it. Um, you did what I would consider to be the intelligent thing and try and kill the caster to hopefully maybe break the spell on whatever this conjuration was of this rock creature. But instead, things kind of went wrong. And instead of it being sent back to wherever plant's from, or what might happen with that, it instead went berserk and killed about 5 of the 10 prisoners, and also crushed one of the elementalists, and then just basically went down the hallway after you guys, then ran off in a different direction, down into the lower levels, and that's basically where we left
Mm.
off. You went back and you were able to grab 5 of the prisoners and get out of there pretty quickly. Um, I believe it looked like 2 older men, 2 younger men, and a woman.
Yep.
And instead of heading back to Homelet because it was obviously very dark out and bringing those 5 back there, or even going to Nulb, all of them seem like really, really bad ideas. You guys decided to hole up in the little ruins you cleared out just north of the temple. Um, and that's where we are now. Nighttime is in full swing, and we'll just do watches and a few other stuff here, and then we'll continue with that. So, Martin, watches are gonna be brought down into four different times. So, what do you want to do? Who's taking first, second, third, and fourth watch? Elmo says he's happy to take first watch while you guys get some rest. Um,
Yeah, I think we'll let Elmo take the first one. I think Griff will take the third one.
okay,
Alan can take the second one,
okay, and Bari will
and
take the fourth
Barry,
one.
yeah.
Second, Ellen. Third, Griff, and fourth, Bari. All right. Um, and I believe we were saying this before the chat. You've been able to gather quite a few different things. You did find a nice sack full of stuff that was in that ogre room.
Yeah.
We can decide to check that out on your watch, so we'll do that then. Um, but right now, we'll just sort of go through it a little bit. Um, you have the 5 people. You guys grabbed some blankets and a few odds and end clothes you guys had in your packs on the horses. You brought those back for the 5 fully naked survivors of the of the unfortunate fight you got into. You got them sort of clothed and dressed. They are trying to rest as best they can. Most of them are basically uh, completely non. What's the word I'm looking for? They're not really responsive. Most of them. One of the younger guys seems to be a little bit better off than the other ones, but everybody is in a bad shape. They're very malnourished. They're dehydrated, and they've been obviously treated very terribly. Um, and so you guys get them just a little bit of water, a little bit of food, whatever they can actually stomach, and let them rest. Elmo takes first watch. As the night gets longer, it seems like he has a pretty clear watch. About halfway through Alan's watch, however, you are sort of shaken awake by Alan. He's going, boss, wake up, wake up.
What was it? What was it, Alan?
And you see him as you're sort of rubbing your eyes and trying to get awake, as he's sort of shaking you here. There's not much light in this room. You guys have like a little lamp to the side, not enough for it to really spill out onto the stairwell going into this place, so that you guys can still keep it somewhat, a little bit hidden. But he points to the walls and he's like, look, I saw those red eyes. I saw them again. And he points to the wall. And you look and you can't see what he's like really looking at. It just looks like a bare wall, just old brick and mortar. And he just sort of says like, they were right there. I swear they were like, and he walks over towards it, and it's like the eyes, they were like between the bricks, that black smoke.
Right. Well, they're not there now. Well, I suppose we could have a look behind the bricks. I mean, I guess we're next to the temple after all. Um, Griff will just take out his dagger and have a quick sort of
Just try and like loosen some of the older bricks. Yeah, and like some of them are pretty easy to
chip
come
off
through.
some
You
mortar.
try and find ones that are a little bit already loose and not ones that you might start bringing down more of this all this weight down on you guys. But you check around and overall it seems like pretty normal old brick. There's nothing really of real like. It seems totally mundane to you, and Alan seems a little bit bewildered by. But he's like, it was like what we saw before in the forest.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe you were just having a. I don't know. You can, when you stay up, sometimes you can start to hallucinate, that sort of thing. Maybe I don't know. Just let's give it another go. If anything happens, give us a nod.
He's like, all right, boss, and he you just go back to your bedroll, and he sits down next to an old barrel, just keeping watch again. And the rest of his watch is totally fine. He wakes you up again, but just to get you up for your watch. And you see him quickly he's one of those guys that once his head touches the pillow, he's fast asleep.
Yeah.
And so Alan is immediately just takes off his armor and just immediately just falls asleep as you put your armor back on. And on your watch, at first it's pretty quiet, so we can just go through. If you're looking through the bag, just seeing what's in there, we can do that. Just gotta find which room that was. 1 second, I'll just go to.
Yeah.
Believe that was room 124. Okay. So, let's see what you had in there. Ooh, nice. Some good shit. So what you found in that bag as you're going through it, all you have is just all this silver glinting off the light of the
Nice.
of the lantern there. It looks like you found about looks like 87 silver pieces. There's also a nice silver bracelet that you can probably guess is worth around 100 silver pieces. And once you're ready, I'll say the next thing that's in there.
Yep, far away.
And adorned on that silver bracelet looks like 6 azurites, worth 5 silver each.
Cool.
That's what's in there. So you sort of just look around. It's like a nice little haul from. Looks like these ogres had a nice stash for whenever they were going to retire or whatever. But they're not going to need that now. And
no, they won't.
Yeah, and you're counting, and you finish up counting the last time, and you just sort of chink, chink, chink as they just throw it back into the bag, and you close it up and throw it with the rest of the stuff. And you hear some voices coming from the south. Not very close, but you hear them just like what sounds like maybe a few gruff voices and one lighter voice. And it's obviously coming from outside. And like I said, it doesn't sound like it's right next to you. It's just being carried on the wind, just enough for you to hear it, that they're there, but you can't really make out what's being said. What do you want to do, Martin?
So I think wake up Elmo and Alan and Barry. Telling them to be very quiet when they wake up.
Yep.
Just say, well, we got voices outside. Don't think they know we're here, but better get armored up just in case.
Okay. So that's good. Yeah, they get up, they get their weapons ready, and they just start putting on their armor and everything else. And yeah, so they're just sort of sit there ready. Obviously, Alan and Barry just trying to keep their eyes open. Elmo's fully alert. Yeah. Are you gonna stay in here?
Yeah, well, Griff's gonna. I'm just gonna poke my head out. I'm gonna stick my cloak on and see what I can see out there. He says.
Yep. So I'm just gonna say you don't really even need to do a roll here, Martin.
Cool.
For the situation, because it's nighttime and you have the elven cloak. You are not only borderline invisible, but the people here don't seem to be like looking in your direction. As you open up the
Okay.
door that's down at the bottom of the stairs and you crawl your way up very, very quietly, you look down to the south, and you see what looks like we would guess a human woman, followed by about maybe 4 or 5 or maybe 6. It's really hard to make out with how dark it is. 4 or 5 or 6, what you can guess as dwarven warriors. They look like they're in armor. They look shorter and squat, and you just see them go out of view as they enter the temple in that main entrance. And you hear them sort of muttering amongst themselves, just a little here and there. You can't really make out much, but the tone somewhat comes off jovial. A few wisecracks here and there, and then they disappear from sight once again.
Did Griff see if they've got any sort of cloaks on, maybe with a fire symbol or earth or anything? Or couldn't
Yeah,
see?
give me a nose check.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Roll a 12. So I would say with that roll, you maybe got a little bit closer, and saw a better clear. The moon comes out and sort of glints across them. They don't look like they don't look like any sort of temple personnel. From what your guess, the dwarves are wearing what looks like what you could guess as classic sort of dwarven mail, all perfectly fitted for them, sort of just glinting off in the moonlight. The woman, you can see her head is just sort of like she has a cloak over her face, but she looks like she is in sort of like a black and red kind of cloak with armor underneath. From what you would guess and surmise, they look more like an adventuring band than anybody
Yep.
going in here. They have weapons drawn. As they get closer to the temple, you do hear them. You do hear the woman sort of shush the dwarves from talking amongst each other, and they enter inside. And that's basically what you've been able to grab in the quick information from them.
Hmm. Griff's going to run over and try and catch them.
Okay. Sounds good. So they've entered inside the temple. You start walking all the way down. You do go into like a little bit of a jog.
Yeah.
Do you want to give me a sneak check now that you're actually sort of running down the ways after them?
Yep.
Nice, 14.
That's...
All right. So yeah, so you make your way, and then you get to the temple door, and you see them at the end of the like over towards here. I'll actually move your character for you.
Cool.
You see them over. You see where 3 is, right here.
Okay. Yeah.
You see them sort of like what looks like looking down that pit, and chatting. And you were just sort of watching from behind, as you see him tie a rope to like one of the pillars, with like a weight at the end of the rope and throw it down the hole. And then, yeah, you're able to, if you want to go approach them, you can do that.
Yeah. Okay. I've just got somebody at the door. I'm sure it's just a delivery.
Yeah, absolutely. Go.
3 seconds. I won't be
No
a second.
worries.
Sorry.
Okay. So yeah, so what do you want to do, Martin?
Cool. Well, so Griff was going to go and say hello and see what they're up to, and maybe try and get some assistance, possibly join forces and that sort of thing. But he's also kind of curious as to what's down the bottom of this pit.
Mm-hmm.
So he figures that if he hangs back for a bit and waits for any screaming or whatever, that could be a good idea.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so you sort of just move up, closer and closer, just watching you go from like pillar to pillar. I just imagine like in there, they have like torches out and such.
Yeah.
You sort of just sort of like roll behind different little cover as they're moving around, getting tools out. And then they start to descend. You see, it looks like 2 dwarves go down first, and then it looks like she goes down. And then you see 2 more dwarves go down after her. And you get closer and closer. It looks like what they've done so far is they haven't left anything behind except this rope. It looks like there's no supplies left behind. There's no guard. And they've attached lanterns to their waists. And you can sort of look down the hole and see that they've just started making their way down further and further. And then it looks like what you would probably guess is the floor that you were on. They kick open part of what looks like some brick and make their way down onto that first floor, through this hole, and then they sort of disappear out of sight. Now, all of this is
Okay.
obviously happening across like 15, 20 minutes or so. This isn't like an
Yeah.
instant drop down, break it down. You're just watching without being seen as they go through this.
Hmm.
And then you see that they let the rope go. They all like unhook themselves, and the rope is just hanging there, basically held where they got off, down at the first floor.
Interesting. So Griff is thinking, A, there wasn't something horrendous at the bottom of this that's got him, which is it's a good start. Um, I don't know. I mean, he's sort of thinking he could take this rope away, and maybe they can't get back up then. But that seems a bit mean and evil. It's not really Griff's style. They've done nothing to him. They're probably just going to soften these things up for Griff, so he's gonna leave them. He's okay.
Sounds good.
However, Griff is minded of the fact that he left Drun, the temple guy, after
Oh
killing him,
yeah.
and forgot to loot at the body. So, in his haste to protect the prisoners, so he's gonna have a really quick, sneaky look down the stairs just to see if he can
Yeah.
kind of see or hear anything.
Yeah.
Very sneakily.
So you run back to those stairs, and we'll. It looks like they're pretty clear, from what you can tell. And you're making your way down the stairs.
Yep.
Okay. We'll just go to that next map here, and I'll just move you to the bottom of the stairs.
I think it was literally just around the corner to the north.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Yep. So you make your way up there. Do you want to give me another sneak check?
Yep. Oh, I didn't have the +4. It's not. All right. Yeah.
There, nice. That's already good. Yeah. Yeah. So you make your way up. You can go up to that junction there where the fight occurred.
Yep.
So what you see here, is quite the ghastly sight. It looks like, parts of bodies are left here. But it looks like the majority of the corpses have been dragged off to this door at the end of the tunnel, to your left, the leftmost part of the junction. It looks like you can see blood trails and tracks of several feet. The feet look elongated. They look humanoid, but they look elongated, like as if very tall humans grab them. But what you do see on the ground here, outside of like bits of cloth and fabric, you do see what looks like what you guess is the spell book that belonged to Droon. It looks crushed and soaked in blood, but it could be still useful somewhat.
Yeah, I think Griff's somewhat put off by the carnage around here. He was hoping the bodies would still be there as if they were. He'd only just left them, but that doesn't seem to be the case, and there seems to be activity down here. So if there's a spell book, Griff will pocket that quickly and then hotfoot it back up the stairs.
Sounds good. Yeah, you immediately grab that, and like I said, as you pull it up, like a little bit of like what was left of Droon sort of slips out from the pages, just on the ground, and you just pocket it and run back up the stairs. And we'll just see if anything else is around.
Let's hope it isn't.
Nope. Yeah, you run back up the stairs and out. And are you making your way back to the ruins where your party is?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yep. So you just make your way back up there, and you just crawl back down and close the door behind you. And you get back and you see what looks like Alan sleeping, but Bari and almost said he wouldn't stop complaining, so we just told him just to go back to sleep while we were waiting for you.
Oh, fair enough. It looks like another adventuring party down there from what I can make out. They went down that big pit. They didn't die, so don't know. Guess it's all right.
No, maybe that's another way down, says Elmo. We could maybe, or at least another escape, perhaps, depending on where we are in the dungeon.
Yeah, it's a good plan. Well, hopefully they leave their rope there, but no, we'll see. We'll see. They'll probably just get finished off by whatever's down there. But, anyway, I got this book, but I think we should be back to bed. And Barry, if you're going to take the last watch.
Yep, yeah, and he says, "Yeah, it's not a problem at all, boss. You get some shut eye." And Elmo starts taking off his armor, and you guys head to sleep, and you are woken up by Bari in the morning. Says, "Yeah, it's all clear on my end. The sun's coming out. I think we should get going."
Yeah, we should get these prisoners back to Omelette and stock up. and come
Sounds good
back
to
again,
me.
I think.
Yeah, so it looks like the prisoners are looking a little bit better, but you guys sort of pick them up, you sort of drag them through. Alvin runs off to grab the horses and gallops them back up towards the ruins here so he doesn't easily just put them onto the horses, and you guys get ready. So for Hamlet, just so this is all up to you, Martin, obviously what you want to do. Is there
Mm.
anything you want to do in Hamlet, or do you want to drop these off, do that sort of thing, and then head back to the temple? What's your plan?
I think we'll drop off the prisoners. It's probably worth having a conversation with them at some point later, but I'm guessing they still look a bit out of it, and yeah,
Yep, sounds good.
not good.
Yeah, so we'll just do a bit of a little montage here, guys.
Yeah.
Marn, you and your party set out. The sun's broken out, and it's very nice. Actually quite a nice day. Obviously, much nicer once you leave where the temple is, where everything feels kind of dead, and just you have this ominous presence on you at all times. But you head back down to Hamlet. You drop off the prisoners to Turgeon, who takes them. He says he'll happily heal them, and he'll just put them in the infirmary of the church, and get them back in top shape. It looks like he recognizes the two older men who looked like they're merchants of the area. It looks like they probably were
Oh,
ones that were kidnapped a while back. And he says he'll send word once they're better if you want to talk to them about anything they might have experienced while they were down the temple. Um, yeah, and you do that. Everybody just
cool.
grabs some food and some supplies. And you guys get back on your horses. Um, and I guess honestly, because it takes about half a day to get there, if you guys basically run out the rest of the day and then go the next day, now that you got your spell book and all that, the stuff you want, pretty much. Um,
Yeah.
you guys basically just get a proper sleep and rest here in Hamlet, and resupplied, and then you guys head back to the temple. You leave your horses behind in the same sort of hidden part of the clearing that you guys can, as you did before, and you are back at the temple. You're still outside. What do you want to do, Martin? Um,
So I guess we're going to go straight back in the main temple entrance again,
okay, sounds good.
and rather than head straight down the stairs, the ones we kind of came up and went down and came up and went down again,
Yep.
we're going to have a quick look over the pit and see if there's a rope still there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you've come back. And it looks like the rope is now gone. This rope looks like,
Okay.
obviously, looking around, you can still see the evidence of the rope and all that sort of stuff having been there, just where it was and all that. But it looks like this party that was down here is either gone or somebody's cut this rope and
Yeah.
taken it. So
Griff shrugs his shoulder and goes, oh, I don't know. Yeah, that's where they were. They went down there, but I guess we'll find out if they made it or not later on.
So that's good. So are you going down the pit, or are you gonna go back down the entrance that you do know?
Oh, I think we'll go down the entrance that we do know.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. So you go down the left entrance, and you're back down those stairs.
So Griff will say to the others, just back up at that cross. It's the scary dice again. Just back up at that crossroads up the north there. To the west. Looked like they dragged all those bodies into some sort of room. So I reckon we should check that out first. Just make sure there's nothing too horrendous there. And
Yeah, that makes sense to me, boss. Alan says, should we just kick down the door and swarm them? Do you think, take them by surprise, boss, or do you think we should sneak?
Well, I think we should sneak and see if we can work out what's going on there first. I mean, if there's 20 of them or something, I think we'll give it a miss. But so let's that's a word to the wise. We'll scope the place out. We'll make a decision after we got all the facts.
Okay, sounds good to me, boss. Check
I can't move a token apparently. There we go.
Yeah, and do you want to give me a quick notice check, Martin?
Yep. There we go.
Okay.
That's a 9.
So just before you get to that junction, like when you're going, I'll just move you back down here for a quick second. When you're on your way over there, you notice, you see where like 109 is to the right.
Yep.
You notice what looks like, what can only be described as, a waterfall just right there. Not like a strong waterfall, but more like almost like suspended water, sort of stuck in a cycle, just going up and down, just right in that entrance there.
We don't see that every day. Any ideas, guys?
Alan looks over at it, and he like you guys are sort of all like behind like the walls here, kind of looking from a distance. He says, "Isn't that where the that rock creature went down, boss?"
It is, but I mean, with the water thing, what's that all about?
Uh, I don't know. Some sort of
Yeah.
magic, some sort of maybe like a wall or something. Or I'm not sure.
Ah, you know what? I think we better leave that. We can come back to that one.
Yep, and yeah, your crew sort of just nods, and you guys head up the junction that you were originally going to go
Yeah.
to, and yeah, so you are over near that door. What do you want to do, Martin?
We'll listen at the original prisoner door, so the door to 114.
Yep, that prison door is still open. It's sort of it's just
Okay.
ajar, and it looks like, it's fully empty. The obviously you are hit with the smells of the people that were once there, um, but overall it looks totally deserted now
Yeah.
after the incident, we'll call it.
So Griff will look at Alan and go, right, watch. This is how you listen at a door. He's quite patronising. He's going to wander over to the door and stick his ear to it.
Yeah, I'm totally lost on Alan, and he patronizing. He's like, "Okay, boss, I'm excited to learn." And you just sort of see Elmo kind of just give like a little eye roll. And yeah, give me a nose check, Martin.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's an
Okay.
8.
Yeah, you hear what sounds like weird ragged breathing. You hear like slobbering noises, and maybe a few bones crunching across the door.
Hmm. Can I get the feel for how many things might be in there, or not really from the noise?
Yeah, no, from that noise, I would say you can tell there's at least 3 creatures in there.
Okay. So Griff will walk slightly back down the corridor
Mm-hmm.
and just say to the others, I think there's 3 of them in there. Not quite sure what they are, but I don't know. I think they're meat eaters.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where those buys go.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just some sort of like maybe some wolves or something they keep here chained up or something.
Mm, no, I don't think we'd be that lucky to be honest with you. But well, look, let's. I think we need to clear this place out. Let's yeah, you hang back there. I'm gonna order floor again and pop the door open. You get ready with the bows.
Okay. Alan says, hey, boss. Like, I'm not so great with the bow. Do you want me to open it and you 3 get ready with the bows?
Well, that will be the smart move. I'm glad you're listening. That was a test. That was. Um, yeah. So nice one. So yeah, you open the door, Alan, and us 3 will stay back. Now, be careful you don't slip in that oil because that could have bad consequences.
Yeah, yeah. And you can see he's beaming. He's really proud of himself. And Bari and Elmo just sort of share a look as they get their crossbow and bow ready. And Alan goes towards the door. The door itself, so like the door with the prisoners looked like it was like a metal door with like a lot of chains and stuff over it. This
Yeah.
door in front looks kind of greasy. It looks old. It looks worn too. Like it looks like it gets opened a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And So just before Alan goes off, he says, "So, boss, want me to open the door, and do you want me to like attack, or do you want me to just go to the side, and
No,
let
no,
you
no,
guys
no.
fire in?"
You come back here. They should follow out. We got the oil down there, you see. Hopefully they'll be sliding around. So you come back here. They'll be all over the floor, and then we can either get them with bows or swords or whatever. But yeah, you don't need to put yourself in harm's way there. Just come back,
Okay,
otherwise the oil won't do its work.
sounds good. And where'd you put the oil down again, Martin? Did you say you put like sort of like in the middle? Like
Yeah, if we sort of said there.
it's
So
right there. Okay,
Alan,
sounds good. Just a little
yeah,
bit off the door, but like not.
yeah,
Okay, sounds good. Yep. So Alan's ready. Um, and he takes out a sword in one hand, and he just grabs the knob and swings it open, and you see on their side what looks like gaunt tall figures, all with like sort of gray clammy flesh, turn around with just sort of meat and viscera in their teeth, and they have these big sunken eyes, and they just go like "Rah!" And they run towards Alan, and Alan backs off. So I'll let you guys fire off your 3 shots as a surprise round, then we'll
yep,
do initiative.
cool. More undead.
Yeah. And we'll do Elmo and Bari. Bari will be back up to full health. Yeah, and you should be back at full health if you took any damage last time, by the way, Martin.
That's cool.
Crossbow. Elmo will go bow. And Alan's backing off so he won't get stabbing. Okay, well, Jesus. Okay, 2 hits from them. So the 2 of them take down 1. Did you? You got an 8. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that will kill. I'll kill 1. But you see 5 more sort of stream through the door. So we'll go into initiative here, Martin. And hopefully your initiative this session will be better than last time. Where I don't think you won a single initiative in the last.
No, the dice were
session.
horrible last time.
Oh god, they're not much better now either.
No better this time. Do you know what? I'm going to go for one of those rerolls. I think.
You're going for one of the rerolls? All right.
Yeah, I think so. This could be the difference between another 4 attacks or not.
Yeah,
so.
No, it sounds good because at this point, not Elmo, Alan is across the oil, but he's still sort of in their fight. He's going to try and keep backing off, so he's in front of the archers. But we'll see here. Okay.
So I rolled another 2 with a 1 that was a 3 again. So I'm going to go for the other reroll because the difference between potentially 4 attacks and not is...
Yeah, absolutely. No, for sure. Okay, so you're going to use 1 reroll? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So you have 1 reroll left from...
No, I used them both.
Oh, you used them both? Oh, I didn't realize... Oh, no. Sounds good.
The first time I got exactly the same number. I got a 2 on the dice, so...
Oh, God, it's unfortunate. But at least you have it now. But they did just enough to kill 1 of them, so there's only 5 left. Yep. All right, and you guys are going first. And...
Right.
Alan's giving enough... I'm going to say Alan's giving just enough space so he can't do the attack, just because of the amount of space between the oil and them. But you and Bari and...
Ooh. Griff rolls a 20.
Ooh, nice. All right, we got a 16 and a 12 on Bari. What is their AC? Oof. Their AC is 13. So you definitely hit. And Elmo hits. So you two shoot 1. Bari's goes long. But you guys don't take down that 1. But he's real hurt. He's real hurt. And okay. And Alan's just gonna hold around. Just hold his turn to attack once they get close enough. And then they obviously move in. And they start going onto the oil. So I'll just have them do a quick. I wonder if I still have their stat block here. There we go. Yeah, I'll just have them do a physical save each. Failure. Oh, let's see here. So 1 success, failure, success. Okay, so 2 failures, 3 succeed. So 2 slip and go prone. The other 3 slip but keep moving. And they're going to move on Alan. Alan's going to attack the one that's already hurt, who saved.
Yep.
And try and get rid of that one. So he's going to take out he's going to have his sword out, and he just slashes across. Okay, yep. That is going to hit and kill. So Alan just cuts off one of their heads, and he goes tumbling in front of you guys. And then the
Good
other
job,
Alan. Yeah, and Alan, you can see, just has his has his shield up, ready for some pretty hard attacks here. And so they go in with their claws. And I believe, do they make 2 attacks each? They do.
Ooh.
Okay. That's not going to hit. That is going to hit.
Ooh.
Okay, and now let's see here.
Good damage. Just a 1.
Yeah. Well, here's where it actually gets bad. So Alan, give me a physical save. He succeeds. All right, that's good. So he's only going to take 1 damage from that guy. And the other guy is going to do his attacks on him. Because these ghouls are nasty if he doesn't pass those saves.
Ooh.
Oh boy. So 1 hits again. And we'll just do a save for him.
Come on, Alan.
Come on, Alan. All right. So, for the next 4 turns, Alan is completely paralyzed. All right. So they slash into Alan, and he only takes 2 damage, so he's doing okay. He's at 6 out of 8 hit points. But you do see him just sort of frozen there like a statue. He's still holding his sword and his shield out, but he is in trouble there. And that is now back to you guys.
Come on, Elmo. Get in there with your sword or your axe.
You think so? All right.
Yeah.
And
Barry will take them off.
Yeah,
But
sounds good. Elmo drops his bow and pulls out his war axe, and then runs in and slashes the one that just paralyzed Alan there. Okay, big hit from him.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay, yeah, and he immediately just chops this ghoul in half, sending it backwards. And then now it's you and Bari. There's still one who's on Elmo and Alan, and the other 2 are still prone.
Come on, let's hit. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Bari. Okay, nice. Bari also hits. Yeah, so between you two, your arrow goes into one eye and the crossbow bolt goes into the other, and this thing just grabs its head as it falls down dead next to Alan. And then the other 2, it's their turn. They're going to get up for their turn and start sort of slipping and sliding. So I'll make them do another physical save each to see if they can get over towards you guys now that they're sort of covered in oil. I guess evasion would probably work better, actually, more than physical, but it's fine. They're both the same, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, one fails and just keeps just sort of slapstickly, sort of just has the splits and falls down. But the other one gets up and he goes after Alan, who now I'm gonna give this guy a +2 since he can't defend himself with his paralysis. So he goes in for a big bite, and we'll see here because it actually is different damage, I believe. Oh no, it's the same, so it doesn't matter. So he can go in and he's gonna do 2 damage on Alan. So Alan is getting, you see Alan's eyes are fully wide as he just gets this giant chomp. Alan is now down to 4 out of 8 hit points. You see blood coming out of him. His whole face is just covered in blood as the creature sort of goes like for his neck and shoulder, just trying to get some exposed flesh. But he can't do anything as he's just stuck there as this thing munches on him.
Oi, leave it. Leave him.
And then we are going to go to your turn.
Come over here. You look like you need some sunshine, you do.
All right. And I love it. Let's see. Elmo, I guess, is going to try and attack him. And then I think you guys are going to do your attack.
Oh, Griff's just going to insult him a bit more. You pasty face. Get over here.
So Elmo misses. He can turn that into a hit, but I think you guys are going to be fine here because he does 5 damage with shock, and you do 6 with the bow. So he gets a good axe into him and sort of pulls him open for you, just out of the way of Alan, and then you just shoot your bow straight. Your arrow straight into its neck, and it falls down dead. And then Bari's going to fire off his crossbow at the one doing the splits on the ground in the oil. Okay, and he can't do it.
Bari is consistent.
Yeah, and then you hear from the room these creatures came in more growls and howls as you hear a door slam open, and you hear the shuffling of feet going in. You can't see them yet, but you can hear more is coming. All right, and then that's that creature's turn. He's going to try and get up again, and I'll make him do an evasion save. He fails. He just can't get up. And Elmo, for his turn, hearing these creatures coming down the hall, just lights a torch for his turn and just drops it on the oil where the ghoul is just sort of already sort of slipping and sliding on, and just starts to create this fire between that side and where Alan is. And what do you want to do for your turns?
So Griff's going to grab another flask of oil and literally just sort of pitch it into the flames.
Sounds good. All right.
Hopefully it's going to break and spread everywhere.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna do this thing's already felt a bunch of saves. I'm not gonna let it do
Yeah.
another save, but I'm just gonna do 2d6 damage. Alright, so just from the fire from both oil, you just keep the fire going even more, and you hear it screeching out as it's just covered in oil now as it's all lit completely. And Barry's gonna fire his crossbow at the one who's on fire. And yep, hits, kills it as it's screaming. It just, that scream dies in its throat as it's cut down by Bari. And then you see 6 more of these creatures come through that room and are now on the other side of the fire. Though you see almost like an intelligence in their eyes as they see you guys with bows and the fire. And you see them licking their lips and looking very, very hungry. But they start to sort of back off from where you are and close the door.
Oh, right. Okay. I was going to start tossing some ghoul parts through the flames, but never mind.
But you do see, almost their eyes are fixed on all of you. You have this sort of almost... It's hard to, I guess, almost like a primal fear that these creatures will not forget you or your scent, and they're just smart enough to know to not stick around for your arrows and bolts to pierce them. And soon after, the fire's still going for a little bit, but Alan is able to come out of it, and he just lets out this really deep yell, and just basically hyperventilates for a little bit before composing himself as he's finally free from this paralysis.
It's not nice, is it? It's like having one of them nightmares where you can't move, but you're still awake. If you've ever had one of those, they're not very good. Anyway, Griff will try and heal him a bit.
Sounds good. Okay, that's all good. And yeah, you pass. Just do a d6 plus 1.
1d6 plus 1.
Oh.
What happened?
I think you just typed it in. You forgot to do an r/. You can probably just hit
I did, yeah.
You can always just hit the button and add a +1 as well. That's how I do it usually because it's faster.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so he's back to full health after that. You sort of just patch up his bite and claw wounds, and he's feeling better. And as you patch him up, the fire goes down, and you see the door swing open. As the 6 of them come through, you see them no longer worried with the fire gone. They charge down the hallway towards you guys.
Oh shit, they're a bit keen, right? Round 2 then.
Yeah, and we'll just keep your initiative from last time since you spent money on it. I'll be nice.
Yeah.
Let you guys go first. But they start charging down, claws and fangs biting at you. And they step over the corpses of of their fellow ghouls. All right, what do you want to do, Martin?
Yeah. So Griff is going to fire off his bow. We got them the last time. We'll get him again. But not with a 9.
All right.
Does that hit?
Let's see here. That does hit. Yeah.
Hey, cool.
Yep. So you shoot one. Bari's gonna shoot the same one to try and take it down.
Yep.
I believe there's 6 in this one. Let's see. Yeah, there's 6. Okay. Bari also hits, and I think just makes it. And that's enough to actually kill him. So cool. You guys take down one, and then Alan and Elmo seems to not be too keen to let Alan be sort of alone here. Those 2 are in front of you guys, and they start swinging axe and sword at these ghouls.
I think Alan wants to... No, he doesn't. Elmo wants to make that a hit, I think.
Yeah, Elmo will make that a hit. Oh my god, did they both roll 1s? They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they can both turn those into hits. And Alan kills one, and then Elmo severely wounds the other, slicing into him. And that means there's 4 left. 2 are on Elmo, 2 are on Alan, and they go for their claw attacks. They look hungry. So these are the 2 claw attacks on Elmo.
Got to be a miss. That's a hit, is it?
Let's see here. One is a hit, and that will be a physical save for Elmo. Physical save. Failure. Elmo is now paralyzed for 6 rounds. As he's just hit. And how much damage does that do? 2 damage. Okay. So he's at 13. He's okay on health, but he is hurt. And then there is the 2 on Alan, who are going to make their attacks. And this might get really bad depending on how things go.
Oh, no.
All right. They both miss, I'm fairly sure.
Oh, do they?
Yep, both miss.
Cool.
They just miss. And they just sort of scratch off of him. He seems to sort of hit their hands out of the way. It seems like Alan perhaps is learning how to actually fight these things a little bit better now. And then we'll go back to your turn, guys.
Right. Come on, Barry, you can get him again. So Griff and Barry are gonna shoot them.
Oh my God, Alan, Jesus. Alan's just gonna use his shock damage on that one that was already hurt by Elmo and cuts that one down.
Yep.
And then Barry is gonna fire off his crossbow. Nice, Griff, you hit. Good God. Okay. You hit, killing one. As your arrow just sails over Alan and just hits one right through the cranium. He goes down. There's 2 left. And they both turn on Alan, who is the obvious threat right now. And they start slamming their claws into him, hoping to find some nice fresh meat.
Good. That's also good.
So 2 fails there. Ooh, and 1 hit. And then 1 miss. All right. So we got... Oh, I think I rolled... Yeah.
Whoa.
That was an extra
That's
one.
Nice.
Yeah, that was an extra one by accident. It's only 1 hit. So Alan is going to take 2 damage.
Yeah.
And he's going to make a physical save. Okay, and he's good. And yeah, so Alan being severely pissed off now, slashes out at one of them, and then Bar's also going to fire off another crossbow. Alan immediately kills one, and what are you doing?
Griff is gonna fire another. Well, maybe not. Does he need? Yes, he does need.
Yeah,
to.
he's gonna need 1. Nice. This will probably just kill him. Yes.
Oh.
All right. That's good enough. It's like 1 hit went off. Yeah, you guys just shoot them again, and then Alan just cuts him down easily. And soon after, Elmo kind of regains his muscles and is able to move again. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's not fun."
You were leaving those for Alan, weren't you? You're doing a good job there, Alan. You're making good use of that sword.
I'd say so, sir.
Yeah.
Oh God, I really, really hate those things.
Oh no. Well, let's hope there's not another 6 that pops out. Hey, we should tread carefully around these things.
And Alan says, yeah. And he sort of eventually actually just kind of keels over for a second and just starts vomiting. The smell of all these dead ghouls just sliced and stabbed open here, just with their regular smell, is just a little bit overwhelming for him with everything else going on. But then he soon just grabs warskin, drinks it, and just regains his composure. And you just see him sort of Barry kind of clapping him on the back. It says, all right, boss. What now?
Well, I think we should probably go in there. I mean, I think anything that's going to come out has probably come out. Yeah, go on. Let's just have a look round.
All right.
Griff cautiously enters the room.
Sounds good. Yeah, so you cautiously enter the room. Your group's following you closely. Alan and Elmo are really close to you with their melee weapons drawn out. And Barry's kind of has his back to the group with his crossbow ready, just watching the back, sort of slowly backing up. Yeah. And so in this room, you don't really find much of value except for in one of the boxes, as you sort of go through and look around. You find this gorgeous 6-inch tall, finely carved little ivory statuette The statuette looks like it is to some sort of very old being. It looks kind of demonic in nature,
Ooh.
and it's worth about 50 silver pieces.
Okay, cool. This could be useful. Well, it's a nice little trinket. And Griff will shove it in his backpack. Do we get any idea as to which of these two doors these
It's
other ghouls
this
have?
one. This one here is
Right.
open.
Okay.
Is open now. Yeah.
So Griff
This
will
one here is still
listen.
slow.
Yeah, he's gonna listen at that door and just see what
Yeah.
what he can hear.
Give me a nose check.
So notice check is nice 9.
Nice. Very good. Very good. So, you listen to that door, and you don't hear anything, and you're there for about like a minute or so, just trying to listen. And you would assume it's empty except for your eagle eyes. You notice just as you're turning away from the door to go, like, basically talk to the group or just look away. You notice just for a quarter of a second, a little quick shadow just across the door.
Okay.
There's somebody directly on the other side.
So Griff is gonna, with his backpack to the keyhole of the door, just sort of point out to the others, someone in there, indicating that people should get their bows out and get ready to fire.
Okay, yeah, and they're ready. And they have their bows out, and Alan's near you with his sword.
Griff will kneel down and sort of open the door, push it over, and then sort of shoot back towards the wall.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so you do that all in one swoop. And Alan gets ready with his sword branch, and the other two have their bow and crossbow. And what you see on the other side of the door are two creatures that look very similar to each other. They're probably both about 7 feet tall, but they're hunched over, like almost on all fours. One has long, black, scraggly hair going over his face. Their colored sort of palette looks more like bluish, purple, still white and humanoid, but
Okay.
definitely sort of wrong. And they have long sort of fangs bared. But as everybody's about to like let loose, they both put their hands up and go, wait, don't fire.
Who are you working for?
We're guards with those, and he points towards the ghouls that are dead in the hallway. We wish not to die. You let us go. We go our separate ways. Nobody
Right.
gets hurt.
Where exactly would you go?
Upstairs, out of temple.
Upstairs. A quick question for you. I'm assuming that you could have gone upstairs before. Why haven't you gone upstairs before?
They promise us fresh meat. Half of the prisoners held in that room.
Right.
We share amongst all of us.
Yes. Well, tell you what. I'll make a deal with you.
Yeah, and like
Be
you just see like
interested?
one sort of bloodshot eye just sort of twitching, looking at you.
There's a room round the corner there. You can take what's left of those things in the corridor into that room. You can munch on them in there if you want. We'll close the door. We've got a few bits of business to do here, and on the way out, we'll let you out. How about that?
They look at each other and says, "You will lock us up, and you will leave us there. We don't trust you."
No. Well, you got a couple of choices. We can either work it out between us now, if you know what I mean, and you see what happened to those, or you can take a risk. Maybe I'll let you out. I mean, I will let you out, but it's better than what's going to happen otherwise. So I just get on with it.
Yeah, and you see the one that's probably like a little bit bigger, probably the one sort of in charge, the one who's been talking so far, kind of just scratches the brick on the ground, sort of thinking. Their giant sort of like white saucery bloodshot eyes just kind of looking towards you, sort of assessing your entire group. Just the little black beady pupil kind of jumping between all of you. And give me a convince check, Martin. And due to the fact that you have used like all the dead bodies as kind of evidence of what you guys are capable of, with 12 dead ghouls in there,
Oh yes.
I'll give you a +1 on top of this convince roll.
So can I? I'm going to remember for the first time in 13 episodes. Can I re-roll
You
this?
can re-roll that, yeah.
Good.
And that is still a good roll. This is just a little bit of a hard DC because of you're trying to
Yeah.
convince them of something that's very much like they're worried about.
Oh.
No, that's good enough.
No. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
no, I mean eight is like a hard, is like
Yeah.
sort of hardest pass. No, you're all good. And they look, and they don't look happy about it. But they go, fine, but you must let us out.
Yeah. Oh well, there's no. I mean, yeah, it's easier for us if that's what I do. So, trust me, it'll be fine.
And they sort of scamper like around you a little bit. Their backs are always towards the wall, and like they're always facing you as they're moving through. And they start just grabbing up the bodies on the ground with ease, and just throwing them into like that room there.
Yeah.
And you can see how strong these wiry creatures are. And as they go in and they start munching on their, I guess, past comrades, you slam the door and chain it up and lock it.
We'll be back shortly. Don't you worry. Griff
Um,
says very convincingly.
yeah, yes, that's good. And you just hear the sounds of munching and like breaking bones and that sort of thing. In
Griff turns round to Elmo and goes, "Oh, that was an odd encounter. I wasn't expecting that to happen. But have you got any idea what they are?"
there. He just says, "No, I haven't seen anything quite like that. Some sort of they
No.
looked severely dangerous, though, sir. I don't know if we should let
Yeah.
them out. If I'm being honest."
No, well, I mean, we've dealt with them for now, so we'll see what happens, eh?
And
Griff
Barry
is a man of
says,
his word.
there's a. If we want to be, I guess, humane about it, we can always just put a bunch of oil at the door and lay it up and just let them asphyxiate.
Humane. Remind me not to get
Alan
on the
looks over
wrong
at
side
Barry,
of you.
kind of like with a look of, it's a little messed up. What would you say, Griff? What was
Griff was basically I was just saying to Barry, well, that's not very humane, is it? I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of you.
Barry says, "Well, I mean, they'll just, the lack of oxygen, they'll just pass out nicely."
Well, I know what you're saying, but the thing is, I mean, if we leave them in there a bit, I reckon they're going to get hungry, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
So if we went across, came across another couple of Templars or whatever, and we told them that there were some prisoners in that room there, they'd probably believe us.
Oh, I see what you're saying, boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and then we're not doing anything, are we? Just letting nature take its course.
Yeah, let's just hope they can't break down that door, boss.
Yeah. Well, let's get on with it, shall we?
Yeah, and you guys all sort of just get yourselves together. That was great, Bard.
Cool.
So yeah, so what do you want to check out first?
I think the room to the north, the one with the ghouls rather than the two weird things that we don't know what they are.
Sounds good. So you guys, you go into that room there, and this one, I'm just gonna say it now, so you just have this in the back of your mind. All these rooms stink horribly. It is like some of the worst smells, all in this nice, disgusting bouquet of just burnt hair, old flesh, every smell the body can produce, and turned up to 11. This is not a nice part of the dungeon, if there is a nice part at all.
It isn't this bit. No.
Okay. So in this room, there isn't much to see so much. You see what looks like a barrel over on the left side. You see this broken down sort of table with some smashed up chairs. You see what looks like a big sack, which looks like it's carrying something. And then you see a door leading north.
A north door.
A north door, also known as a dorth.
Cool. So Griff will ask Elmo to go and have a forage around the wreckage of the table and chairs. It will instruct Alan to look through the sack and, well, Barry, you're not very lucky, so I'm going to look through this barrel. He's gonna look through the barrel
Sounds
himself.
good. Yeah. So you, why don't you give me a notice check?
Yep.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this is pretty fairly simply. You just check out the barrel. The barrel itself looks like it's empty. Except actually no, sorry, it's not empty, but it's filled with like rocks and such.
Yeah.
It looks like a weight, and then you kind of just push it over to the side, and you notice a small hole underneath it. And you find what looks like, in various coinage, just to keep it
Ooh.
simple for you. Like you see like silver, gold, copper, other things.
Yeah.
But altogether, you see what looks like it's worth about 200 silver pieces. In different currencies, some very old. Some of the minting is of kingdoms and
Ooh.
places that you don't recognize, or ones that you do that are very, far gone. They no longer are in existence. I don't know how. I know Griff is somewhat of a worldly character in the sense of he's gone around a lot, but I don't know how
Yeah.
much he's used to history or like that well versed with it. What would
Oh,
you
I don't
say?
recognise some of these. I've been around a bit, but I don't think he's very well versed in history. But I think he's very well versed in pinching things from
Yeah.
people far and wide. So
Perfect. Yeah. So he knows just enough that like he knows sort of what they are, but doesn't necessarily know exactly where they're from. But they are all like silver and gold and electum, so they all work very nicely as a currency. Outside of that, Alan comes over with the sack and just puts it on the table, and he says, "Hey, boss, I think this looks like the clothes that belong to those prisoners." He says he sort of pulls out. He says like I count about I don't know 8 or 10. Ooh no, and he sort of goes through like oh no about like 14 or 15. Um,
okay.
and you
Well,
like you look around, you see like a bunch of other clothes that sort of been used and mauled probably as makeshift beds for these creatures. As you see
yeah.
like a bunch of them are sort of piled on the ground. But yeah,
Right. Okay. Now we better listen to that door at the north and see what unholy terrors are behind that one.
yeah. So uh, give me a nose check. Okay, yeah. No, you don't notice anything from this room.
So Griff will open the door
Yeah, no,
carefully.
this room seems empty. And also what I'll say here, just so you're just
Hmm.
we'll basically recon this little thing. I messed up which door those two creatures were in. They were in this room, not the room on the
Okay.
left.
Right.
So just to basically recon what happened, all that happened the same way. It's just that it was in this room
Yeah.
and not the other room. And with that said, going off of that, you do hear from the door in the north, you hear a door open up, and you hear like running like away from you guys, in that northern room.
Uh, yeah, guys. For the first time, I think we're in luck. Something's just run away. So Griff will spring open the door.
Yep. So you open up that door, um, and it looks like it's just a small little room. Again, horrible, horrible smell. And that door on the right, in this small little room is swung open, and you hear the footsteps running south.
Okay, interesting. Right, come on. We can track these guys down, I reckon. So
And
Griff's gonna start.
yeah, you can try. And I'll say this
Yeah.
actually. You'll just know they are way faster than you guys. I mean, obviously you can probably track
Okay.
them over a longer distance, if you really want to. But I'll say that you can see them. As they turn like the second junction back up the stairs, you see it looks like two more of those weird long-haired giant creatures, kind of almost galloping like
Okay.
these demonic horses, just sort of go like they're on like they're like that. The way they
Yeah.
gallop is like that, and they sort of just see them go around the corner, and then disappear.
Eesh. Not liking this place very much. Um. So we're gonna do a little. Was there anything in that room that we just ran out of?
So
Wasn't
yeah, we
fairly
can go
bare.
back into both those rooms,
Yeah.
and we'll just cover that now. I'm just gonna roll a
Yeah.
little. Let's see a little encounter here. It's been a few scenes. Let's do another one just to see if anything happens. Just okay, you're good. Yeah. So you are so far quiet here, and this is going to cover those 2 rooms. So if you want to just give me another notice check as you sort of pilfer through the different hides you find behind different little yeah, that's a good one. Good.
That's a 9.
9's really good. And you sort of go through here and there. So you do see a chest. Actually, there's a little box text for you here.
Oh, box text.
For this this room down the south there, the ones with the 2 creatures you saw first. A 10-foot alcove is in the northeast corner of the room. Its walls were once plastered and painted, but where the covering still remains, some sort of mold or similar growth has discolored it sufficiently to make the colors and subject matter indistinguishable. Bones are heaped in a pile in the alcove, and a disgusting odor lingers about the place. Torn cloth and old cushions are piled to form 2 tangled nests of bedding near the south door. A large iron-bound chest with a heavy padlock stands in the southeast corner. You have that chest there in room 117, and you can check that out if you want.
Remember, guys, there's some mold there. You remember what happened in the motorhouse? Be careful.
Yeah, and they keep their eyes out for that. And Barry says, "Do you want me to try this one, boss?"
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, and so Barry will just do a quick sneak, trying to open up this this chest. Yep, and he just quickly cracks it open. It looks like the lock is somewhat new, but not something that's all that of great design. And he's able to quickly open it up and pop it open. And he's like, "Ooh, look in here, boss."
What's in there?
And he pulls out what looks like a bunch of silver pieces. So I believe that will be about you find 60 silver pieces, Martin.
Nice.
But what he seems to show you is what looks like this this brooch with a carnelian stone, with some sort of coat of arms on it.
Huh. That's odd. I don't recognise that one.
Yeah, it's not one it's not one that you've ever seen before. But what you can tell is that it's worth about 500 silver pieces. Perhaps more if sold to the right person who might know what it is.
Oh, looks like a tasty little piece, that. We'll take that back to Nero and see what she says.
Yeah, and he pulls out what looks like a silver tube, which the tube itself you can tell from like how nicely made it is that it's worth 35 silver pieces.
Yep. Is there anything in the silver tube?
Yeah, he pops it open and pulls out what looks like a scroll and hands it to you. You can give me a no roll if you want to try and read it. It's just sort of to surmise what kind of scroll it is. You want to do a reroll on that?
I'll do a reroll.
This is going to be pretty tough on this. This is less than identify and more just able to sort of read, I guess, what it is. There you go. Nice. A 10. You can tell this is a protection from undead scroll. Little irony.
Yeah. Where's our spellcaster, hey? Where on earth has Naomi gone?
Yeah, Alan says, yeah, I do miss her, boss. She's
yeah,
she's
I
a pretty
think
good healer.
Handy, you know.
Not that your work is as bad or anything, as he sort of just like scratches the bandage you put around him after he got bit. But I don't know. She had a way with the bandages. Let's see here. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, so this little hall that you're in, it looks like the creatures that ran off were living in a bit of a nicer spot here. This spot looks like it was a little bit better kept than the other ones, though still disgusting and smelling of filth. But they ran off. So what you see in here is on like the west wall of this 118 that you're in here, the small little hallway. You see what looks like a very nice shield. On the shield, it looks like some sort of old emblem, some sort of old symbol. You can't necessarily really make out what it is, but it does look like it looks like sort of a scorpion hybrid with something else. It's kind of hard to really make out what the artist is going for, but it is very strange looking.
It's interesting. I'm
The
going to
shield
take that
itself
one
looks
back to
looks
Burn.
normal, like in terms of like its design and
Okay.
everything, and, like but like the art itself is what's probably the most
Hmm.
interesting about it. And the shield's in good condition, looks very shiny and all that sort of stuff. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, we'll take this one.
sounds good. Yeah, yeah, you take that, and Barre just grabs it. He's like, "Here, I can hold on to this, boss. You're holding lots of
Yeah.
coins there."
Thanks.
He just
Yep.
sort of puts it on his back.
Right. How are we doing for time, by the way? Are we got the impression that it's getting late in the evening, or are we still good to?
No, this is the next day. You guys set out first light, so it's only about
Yeah.
halfway. You went
Cool.
through. We had a few different rooms. You've waited around, done some healing. So I'd say it's probably around like 3 p.m. or so at this point.
Yeah.
So you still have a few more hours of adventuring in you.
And I think we're fairly confident we've got somewhere we can stay.
Yeah,
The
yeah. At
Cool.
least, yeah. As long
No, we didn't
as
get killed there before, so
exactly.
yeah, it's all good. Right. Well, can't be hanging around all day. We got things to do, heads to break. So Griff will head back on over there. I think so. We'll go through the rooms that we came through
Yep, sounds good.
and go through the unexplored door.
Yeah, so you go through that door. It looks like it's just a hallway that leads up, and then sort of like goes off and veers off to the east. So you can go up that hallway if you want.
So we're gonna go slowly. We're not
Sounds good.
sneaking, but we're not going along banging our swords on our shields or anything like
Sounds
that.
good. All right. Yeah. So yeah, you go up, and then like you see this hall sort of turns off, and then you go down, and it turns again. And you're currently heading north, and then you're in this room, which looks like a banquet hall. This
Ooh.
huge place is over 100 feet long and 30 feet wide in the main portion. The litter of tables, trestles, benches, chairs, and stools scattered and heaped about the place show that the great revelries of evil were once conducted here. Bits of tapestries and drapes still hang here and there from the walls. Bones and whole skeletons can be seen on the floor and under the heaped broken furniture. A skirmish in the greater battle for the temple was surely fought in this place. So a lot of it looks very old. It looks like it hasn't really been touched much since.
After our last tangle with skeletons, Griff's gonna kind of just poke them a little bit and make sure they're not moving.
Yeah, no, they seem totally normal. Sorry, they seem totally, yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? Not super fucky skeletons. They're just normal
Yeah.
skeletons. They're just sitting here. You poke at them, their bones kind of rattle a little bit. But outside of that, they seem totally fine.
Yeah. I think these aren't too much of a danger. Griff's gonna have a quick look behind the tapestries to see if there's anything
Yeah,
weird or funky.
yeah. You look through and like you sort of run your hands through like the mortar and the bricks and everything, and it looks pretty much normal. You don't find anything of value in terms of like any sort of hidden
Yeah.
secrets or anything like that. And you can also move yourself around this room if you want, Martin, so you can see a little bit better because I know your characters can only see so
Yeah.
far. But yeah, you walk around, you check through different parts. Your group Bar keeps an eye out while Elmo and Alan help you sort of search through the tables and chairs and bones and everything. It seems like anything of value, like any nice goblets or plates
Yeah.
or silverware, were all taken long ago. But what is left behind are a bunch of weapons that could be used if you guys want them, or if you lose your own. There's lots of like long swords and axes. Nothing that stands out as like special. A lot of them are rusted and old, but in good fighting condition. If you do need a weapon in a
Yeah.
in a tight spot.
Are there like 3 spears there or something like that?
Yep.
Just a quantity of weapons that aren't particularly. Yeah. So Griff will grab like, I don't know, 3 or 4 spears, and
Okay.
he'll pick out. You go, I've got an idea for these. I'm just going to and he'll sort of grab them so he's got they're sort of sitting in both arms.
Yep. Sounds good.
Right. Anyway, come on. Let's see what's around this corner here.
So are your arms
So-
sort of taken up by these 2 spears in each? Like, are you like
Yeah.
they sort of just like you have like 2 bundles basically like under each arm, or like what's
Yeah,
the...
he's just got them sort of held like that in
Okay.
the round of the arm.
Sounds good.
So he's trying to look like he's carrying spears from sort of A to B, like he's purposefully employed doing
I
something.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yep. So this is just like a dead end for this part. This
Oh,
hall
nothing
looks
around
like
here.
it sort of just ends up. Oh yeah, that's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. He's expecting to open a door and see somebody at some point,
Yeah,
and he wants an excuse to
for sure. Yeah, no,
be
and
there.
so in this hallway, this again, you're sort of like going north. As you've head back around. This is just for the people who are listening to this audio version. You've sort of come back down and you've come around. And you have on your right you have a door. And then further up north you see there's a door on the left.
So I think we're going to go further up, and enter that door on the left.
Okay. So. All right. Let's see. Is there anything in here? Yeah. Are you checking the door at all, or are you just going in?
No, just going in this time.
Okay.
Different strategy.
Sounds good. So this place is 20 by 30 feet, with 3 doors in the southern portion, east, south in the west. East, south in the west corner, and west. So as you can see, there's just those 2 doors.
Yeah.
A high, broad fireplace with numerous side ovens dominate the north wall. The fireplace is large enough to roast a whole ox. The room is littered with broken containers and dishes, trash of an unidentifiable sort, and pieces of wooden tables, countertops, and alike. Several skeletons are visible, including one which appears to be that of an ogre. Yeah.
This looks like a kitchen. Yeah, I think this is a kitchen for the place. And Griff will just set the spears down on the table as there's no one here.
Okay, yep, sounds good.
Pick up his shield again. Right, I suppose we better check the place out then.
Yeah, so where are you checking, Martin?
So we'll start with the crap in the room. Just in the bones, ogre bones under the table, all those good places. Maybe in the oven.
Okay.
Someone may have left something in there.
All right. Yeah, so you go and check out that oven, and start just like going through it. And you see what looks like the scales of a snake against like your firelight, and then it comes right at you, and tries to bite you. So I'm just gonna do a quick attack for it. Oh my god. Okay. Give me a save, Martin.
Yes. What sort of save? A physical one?
Yes, a physical save. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Oh.
Okay. So you are gonna take 3d6 damage.
Holy sh!
So you take 7. Bad. You feel its poison course, and you immediately grab the snake off of you and like pull back. It's still alive and it's in there, and you just hear it hiss out, as you sort of feel kind of woozy from the poison that's just entered your veins.
Oh man, this thing's not good. And where is this thing? Is it back in the oven now?
Yeah. It's basically inside there.
Griff will kick the door closed.
Sounds good. Yeah, you just slam the door closed, and back off from it.
Whoa! And he's going to sit down and start tending his wounds.
Sounds good, yeah.
So what was the effect of failing that if getting a fail was a 3d6? Succeeding was a 3d6?
Give me a no roll. This is going to be a hard one, but this will be interesting.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Bari is going to basically say he saw it just enough to notice its like colors and all that sort of thing. And he says, "Geez, boss." He checks your wounds and everything, and just sort of, I don't know how to do this, but just for the cinematic of it, he sort of sucks what poison's there out of you, and then you get yourself like all healed up. He says, that kind of snake, it's known to kill people.
Yeah, I don't feel too good, I have to say.
And yeah, he helps you bandage up. Just you add some ointment to your wound, and get it cleaned up. And he says, "We do not want to go near that thing, boss. You got lucky there. I think you were able to get it out before its venom fully went in, but."
Yeah, it was reactions. It was. You see it. I got it by the tail and just pulled it, just as the teeth were going in, and he's clearly making a lot more of this than.
Yeah. Yeah, you see Bar is completely like stern, and he's just like, I think we should leave this room. He says, I
Yeah.
think that's the deadliest thing we've seen so far, boss, other than that rock monster.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel great, to be honest, but you don't think we should take a quick look in those doors there?
He lets out like a sigh. And he says,
It's a little
"All
one.
right, boss, but if there's any more of those, like we need to book it."
Yeah. Yeah. Bit of a pain in the ass, those, he says.
So yeah, he gets up and he says, "You just sit there," and he just says, "Alan, you help me. We'll check this out, boss. I don't want you going near those doors." And they go through the doors and sort of search around in those basically little like tiny cubbies, little rooms. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, and they come out empty-handed, saying it looks like it's just rotten foodstuffs, just empty broken pottery and plates and such, boss. Not really much of value there.
Griff's going to be watching the oven all throughout this, just in case, I don't know,
Yeah,
something happens. He doesn't want this thing biting him again. Right, okay. Well, let's grab these spears and be off then.
yeah, and you guys head out of that room and go down the stairs, or sorry, go down the hall.
Yep. Griff's very curious as to what might be in the oven in addition to the snake, but he knows when to call it quits. Right. So, I think Griff is kind of. I don't know. He's gonna go for that door that he passed, the one that's
Okay.
now on his left. It's
Yeah,
that one
so
there.
you see this basically this long diagonal. There's basically this long diagonal hallway in here. And just before you move your character, just
Oh, yep.
for 1 second, it's all good. You can just leave him there. Just want to make sure. Yeah, give me a notice check because you're walking down this hallway.
That's an 8.
Nice. Okay, that's really good. So you walk up this hallway. You can move your guy. Just keep moving him up. You'll see what you'll
Yep.
notice here. You see there's a door at the end, but then on your left, you notice what looks like a stone that's more worn than the others around it.
Okay.
And it looks like if you just check it out, it looks like it opens up a secret door in the hallway. Um, that leads to more hallways.
So Griff has still got the spears in his hand, and he's going to. Yeah, look, you notice those rocks? Have a fiddle, see if you can get that open. I bet that's a door, that is, he says.
Yeah, Barry slings his crossbow onto his back, and Elmo and Alan just keep an eye on both sides, and he just sort of pushes it in, and the door swings open, leading into sort of another hallway that has a left and forward branch. So you still have that door ahead of you down this diagonal hallway that you're in, like just over
Yep.
here, and then you basically have 3 ways to go here, essentially from this point.
We're going to go to the left.
Okay. Yeah, and you can keep going up that hallway.
Oh, there's a lot of hallways here. They don't. This must be some weird and twisted architect. The layout of this place is just bizarre, he says.
Yeah, and so you see a door there, and then you see more. This is going to be too much for me to describe it to
Yeah.
people in audio form. But there's lots of hallways, basically, to the point where if you're somebody without a map like you do, as you're sort of sketching it through, you would easily get lost through all these different halls and such. But you see a door on your left at the end of this hallway here.
Right. And with spears in hand, Griff is going to open the door.
Okay. Let's see here. Sorry. You've moved very far, so I just have to make sure I know what's going on. Nothing to get too up, just saying that just because there is so much in this dungeon.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. So you open this door. I think this is the right one. Down this leads down some stairs, and you look in, and you see lurid light from a flaming crescent and a glowing brazier full of charcoal reveals a 30 by 20-foot chamber containing a rack, Iron Maiden, cage, and all the other unspeakable devices common in a torture chamber. Two adjacent 10-foot square alcoves, one to the south and one to the east, are barred, their doors held fast by chain and padlock. 2 prisoners are in each, obviously here to await the tender mercies of the torturers. 2 female humans are in the south alcove, and 2 orcs in the east. And in all this, what's not described in this box text, is that directly in front of you is what looks like a man in chainmail. His arms are like tree trunks, currently torturing a prisoner, what looks like a young man, probably like in his mid-20s, screaming out as he looks like he's doing some pretty horrific things to the body of this young man. Next to him is a cackling bugbear who's holding like a plate of tools, handing them off to this torturer and taking back other ones. And they are just... it doesn't look like they're asking questions. It looks like they're just doing this out of complete dark glee. And this man is just screaming out in terror.
Oh, hello there. Got a delivery for you? Some spears?
They both sort of jump out, and they go, "What? We didn't ask for any spears. Who sent you?"
What? Sorry, this is player brain fart. Give me 2 seconds. On the tip of my tongue. Hang on a minute. Yeah, Romag. Romag said you were short of spears.
The guy stops what he's doing, and the man on the rack is still screaming, and he just immediately pulls out like a cloth and shoves it into the man's throat, or into the man's mouth, to muffle screams. And he's like, "Sorry, I couldn't hear you. You said Romag sent you with those spears?"
Yeah, I mean, I just do what I'm told. I don't ask questions.
He looks over at the bugbear, and he just sort of shrugs. He says, "Well, we didn't ask for any. I don't know. Just put them over there. I'll deal with it later."
Okay.
He puts towards. I'll just put you close.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Something else as well. I can see you're busy, but apparently there's some urgent prisoners or something that need attending to in and then he describes the room 114 that currently contains 2 of the 7-foot things in it. Apparently he needs some information. They got I don't know, kidnapped from some caravan somewhere. They're a pair of high priests coming from I know that place on the east I can never remember the name of, but apparently Romag needs information out of them quickly.
And the big torturer just sort of gives out a big sigh, and he looks over the bugbear. He says, "I don't know why we even have servants doing stuff for us if they can't bring the bodies over themselves." And he says, "Go with this guy. Go find these fucking prisoners. Bring them back here, and I'll deal with them after." And the bugbear sets down his stuff and just lets out a big sort of howl and walks after you once you set down the spears. And yeah. What do you want to do here, Martin? You guys are leaving this room. Your party's on the other side, just like in the hallway.
Well, come on then. I'll take your term if you can't find the place. He says to the bugbear.
Yep. And he's just following you.
And so the plan is we're gonna head back down to this room here and open the door and suggest that the bugbear might want to sort of walk in and go and get them.
Which door? The door all the way down 114? Okay, yeah. I just saw your cursor there. Yeah. So where are you doing about your party? Because you come over, and I don't know if you said anything to your party or not. Because your party is just like not on the other side of the door, but they're down the hallway a bit.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to say? Because I'll say you alone can pass. The 4 of you fully armed do not look like anybody else you've seen around here, and will set up alarm bells pretty fast, probably.
I'm just hoping they might get what's going on and move.
Okay.
Maybe they won't.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're making a big show of it as you go through, like, "Oh, come with me, we'll go down that way," and they recognize your voice. I'll say that Elmo will take sort of the point of what you're doing, and start backing off Alan and Bari, and they sort of make their way down. You just lead the bugbear down. We'll say almost as you guys are going down south of the hallways. Every time he's kind of looking around at all, you just catch the bugbear's attention again. And Alan, Elmo, and Bari are sort of slowly following. behind you guys, and then you make your way down. And the bugbear says, "Do you have the key for this door?"
Yeah, somewhere. Look, you take the key and deal with it. I've got another collection of pickaxes to go and get from the trash pile or something. It's not a very interesting job. I don't know what the hell I'm staying here really, but anyway, here's the key. You head on in, and I'll yeah.
Yep, sounds good. So you start walking off, and he unlocks the door, and you hear the door swing open, and he says, "All right, get up, you And then you just hear a little bit of screeching and yelling, and then the door slams again.
Nice. So Griff will book it back up to the rest of the party.
Sounds good. And just one thing to keep in mind: you head back to the party. The party's not too far away. And also you guys are back up near the torture room. Just to keep in mind, you didn't lock that door when you walked away. You just left it unlocked. Just so
No.
you know. Yeah. Just want to
No.
remind you of that. Cool. So yeah, so you're back.
Kinda hoping they might disappear, but yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. So you head back up the stairs, or sorry, head back up north.
No. So Griff knows that this guy's in here, and he also knows that he's rather busy probably at the minute and
Mhm.
not paying attention to very much at all. Because I think he was surprised when we came in, or when Griff came in with the spears.
Yep.
So Griff's gonna kind of sneak down the stairs a little bit creepily, and he's gonna kind of draw his bow, maybe hug the floor a little bit,
Yep.
make sure he can't be seen. Spend a couple of minutes just sitting up there and seeing if he can
Sounds good. Yeah, just give me a sneak check to
kill
see if you
him.
can do that, and then we'll do an execution attack
Yep.
if something happens in that minute.
I'm gonna go for the cloak as well, if that's cool for the situation.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Oh,
All right.
nice.
Really,
13.
really good check. And this will be interesting here. Okay. Yeah, so you can give me your execution roll as you wait there for a minute, get ready. You watch his sort of movements and judge where to hit as he's torturing this young man. And you just sort of listen to the screams for quite a while. And yeah, I believe 8 is enough for the execution attack, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool.
I'm not going to check. Yeah.
I rolled 3d6. I think I need to drop the lowest one, so that was a 6, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
6, I believe 8 is what you need.
Mm.
And you can't re-roll this,
Nope.
unfortunately. No re-rolls left for you, my good man.
No.
So you fire and miss, and you hit like right next to him. His head moves, and he just goes wah. And he turns on you, and this giant man picks up a cleaver off of the table next to him, and runs straight at you. So we're gonna go into initiative here.
Hello, Alan.
And I rolled a 6 for initiative.
And Griff gets
Oh boy.
a 4, of course. Yeah.
Oh boy. This guy is a big fucking dude, and he hits hard. I'm gonna have to look at the templates here. Yeah, this will work. I think it's a big ass cleaver. We'll go with the long sword as the thing. Oh yeah.
Ooh, that hits. Ooh.
Yeah, you're gonna take 10 damage.
Ow.
He pulls out his cleaver and runs up at you, grabs you, one big meaty hand goes on your shoulder, and the other cleaver comes down onto your other shoulder. And he pulls it back. And he says, I don't get to have such lively subjects, and he swings again.
Oh, does he have 2 attacks?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God that misses.
That one misses.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this time he misses as it sort of just bounces off your armor, and he lets out this big toothy grin. And you're seeing now this guy is one ugly brute. And you do hear the footsteps of your companions coming down the hallway. And it's your turn. They're not going to arrive until next turn, however.
So Griff is going to beat him with his Staff of Striking.
Okay.
I have no idea what I need to roll to make that.
And it's just a melee attack, so you can just
Yeah.
use whatever other
Okay.
weapons, and that's just 2d6.
I use the hand axe.
Yeah.
There we go. Come on, you can hit. You can hit. You can hit. Oh, no, you can't hit.
Oh.
Oh, mean.
This guy. Oh yeah, this guy has fucking chainmail on.
I'm sure 11 won't.
No, 11 will not hit. Unfortunately. I believe. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, but I don't believe you extend. I'm gonna say you don't expend a charge unless you actually hit with it. Okay. And now it's back to this guy's turn. And he is going to attack you again twice. Oh, that one's not gonna hit. Oh, and that one's not gonna hit too. You are very, very lucky, Martin. Very lucky. And he sort of just can't seem to get those cleavers in much deeper. And then your three companions kick the door down, and they rush in as well. And he just sort of looks up in surprise at this group. And I'll have Bari and Elmo will fire off their weapons.
Oh, it's the lucky dice again.
Yeah, neither can hit. Elmo can do a reroll. And then Alan's like, "No, boss!" And he sort of just runs forward with his sword and tries to help and swings his sword at the big guy who's on you. And he does hit. Just barely though. Makes it through the chainmail. And slices into him, kicking him back a little bit. He's like, "Are you okay, boss?"
Yeah. Well, look, and Griff will kind of just try and hide behind Elmo and Bari because he knows he's not doing very. Come on, Alan.
You see Alan's eyes kind of go wide, seeing like the giant wound like right in your shoulder. He just sort of tries to stand between you guys. All right. And did you fire this turn, Martin? I think it's your turn now.
He was trying to move away behind the other two, if that counts as an action. But if he can, he'll try and get
I would only count as an action if like he was directly going to be able to like attack you. But I would say Alan hitting him really hard and pushing him back gives you just the opportunity. If he missed, it would be your action just to get out of there. But you can back off and fire off.
So
oh god.
And with his hurt arm and shoulder in pieces, he makes a mess of it. Yeah.
Your bowstring just kind of just bounces, and you are in quite a bit of pain with this. And you see this big man says, "Got some more fresh meat. That really hurt, kid." And he swings his big cleaver at Alan.
And misses. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Is he gonna?
I think he misses. Oh no, he hits. And he cleaves right into Alan's thigh, and you hear Alan just sort of give out like a little yelp as he does find quite deeply into Alan's thigh there. But now it's your turn, guys.
So Griff is unimpressed with this. Bullies like you don't deserve to live, and he's going to let off another arrow. Shoulder's really hurting.
Yeah, Elmo, knowing his strengths are more in his melee than his range, drop the bow, grab at the axe, and join Alan in the fray, jumping down the stairs and attacking. Big hit from him there.
Nice.
And then Bari will also fire off his crossbow, and then Alan will also attack. Bari just misses, unfortunately, and Alan and Elmo both hit. That's 15. You guys have already done 10. Oh, he's still alive, and he's really, really, really hurt. But you just see like this crazed look in this man's eye, just twitching holding his bloody cleaver. He is just like, I haven't felt this alive in a long time. And he swings out at Alan again with his big cleaver.
Griff was thinking of diplomacy, but he doesn't think it's going to work on this guy.
Oh my god,
Oh,
another
yes.
one. Oh no, and he's just Alan just holds up his shield and just blocks every attack coming his way, just barely keeping him back. You see like his shield just getting dented with these massive hits. And then it'll be you guys.
Butterfingers, you couldn't hit a broadside of a cow, he says.
Give me your shot. Hey, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. How do you kill this guy? He's just like wailing on Alan, just sort of pushing Alan back.
Yeah, so I think if he's been trying to cleave at Alan and sort of beat him, and he's busy letting off with his gob about how he feels alive, I think what's going to happen is Griff's going to fire this arrow off while he's in mid sentence, and hopefully just get him right in the mouth, and with the arrow coming out the back of his neck, severing his spinal cord, and then he falls back.
Perfect. Yeah. He's just like mid swing, and you just shoot him right through that, and he falls down like a giant sack of bricks onto the ground, dead. There is just so much blood on the ground everywhere. You see the man on the rack just whimpering. There's two women in one cell, and they're like now they're up and like against the cell with their hands on it. And you see two orcs on the other side who have like gone up and are looking at you. Not saying anything just yet.
Right, come on, Barry, you close the door, make sure no one gets through there. Elmo, you sort all these prisoners out there, make sure people are attended to, and I'm going to sort myself out here and Alan.
Yep, sounds good. So let's see here. Okay. Yeah, you just give me your rolls for like the healing and stuff. You can do all that.
Yep. So this one here, so that was a 9. That was Griff healing himself.
Okay.
So
yeah.
1d6 plus 1 is a crappy 3. So that takes him back up to 9. And System Shock is down to 8 now. So I'll give a quick heal on Alan. That was a 7, so he's going to re-roll that one. So Alan loses a System Shock but doesn't get healed, I think.
Okay.
So he's going to try and heal Alan again.
All right.
Rolls a 10.
That will work.
Or 11. Yeah. So 1d6 plus 1 for Alan.
2 peaks. Should go on that one back. All right, he's back to full.
Oh, okay, cool. That's good.
He doesn't quite have as much health as you do. And also didn't get hurt as badly as you did.
Yeah. So Griff's going to try and heal himself again one last time. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
13.
nice.
Better.
There you go.
Mind you, I'm going to roll a 1 now. You just wait.
Yeah. Hey, 6. That's not bad at all.
There we go.
Not bad at all. Yeah. So while you guys are healing up, Alan sort of just healed himself up with you, and he just sort of went through the torturous stuff. It looks like he found quite a few like gems and silver coins and such, which we'll get to in a little bit. Meanwhile, Barry and Elmo have let the 2 orcs and the 2 women free. They quickly drink some water and eat some food. Both the women and the orcs say that they'd be happy to fight with you guys, but they would like to get out of this temple. The orcs sort of grab the spears up that you guys brought here.
Yep.
And so do the women, and they just say, "Well, listen. The 2 women say we're from Nulb. If you just get us out of here, we'll go back there."
Okay. And just a quick question there. You don't know anyone in Nulb. I mean, we passed through, but to be perfectly honest, I mean, we didn't get any better reception than the shit on your shoe might have done. So I don't know if there's anyone you can talk to that might be able to make things a bit better there for us.
Well, we can certainly figure that out. Once you get us out of here, I will be very grateful to you. And the orcs say they'll be happy just to basically kill
Yeah.
anything in the way here, and that they're no friends of the temple people here. But they also all four of them look not quite as in bad shape as the prisoners you found south in the southern part
Yeah.
of the prison. The guy in the rack is like within an inch of his life. He needs to be brought out of
Okay.
here quickly. He's very, very hurt from all this torture.
Griff will attempt to heal him. I don't know
Yeah,
if he needs a roll, but
just give me
yeah.
just a just another first aid check like you've been doing, and we'll see if you can just get him stabilized.
I'll re-roll it.
Yeah, just do the
'cause
reroll.
It's a skill roll.
There you go.
Come on. Yay.
Yeah,
Nice.
you are able to sort of patch him up, and with the help of Alan, who sort of picks him up, Alan says he can just sort of carry him out of here. And you guys, you did enough to keep him alive, but if you guys don't get him back to Hamlet like within the next few hours, there's a good chance he's just gonna die.
Right. I suppose we better do the right thing, and yeah, we better get this guy out of here. He's not looking too hot.
Sounds good. Yep. So, the group now, I think the four of you and the four people with you, helped you get out. You guys make your way down the halls through and through, and don't meet anything. Thankfully, you make your way up the stairs, back to the horses, and you head out back to Hamlet with these new people in tow. And that's what we're going to call a session today, guys.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Almost died twice. That's
Yeah. No, that was almost very bad. Oh, one thing I'll say on your way out as well is you did see that door is fully open, the one that you locked up. If you swing in while you're running down, it looks like those two creatures are now gone. But they did leave you a nice present in the form of that bugbear's head just rolled on the side of the floor there. And
nice.
you guys, have headed off back to Hamlet. Woo! That was intense. When you opened up that oven, I was like, okay, campaign might be over here in a second.
Yeah.
What an unceremonious way to go.
Yeah, was it a dice roll if you failed, or?
No, if you fail, you just die.
Oh.
Just straight death. Old school shit. Just fucking
Excellent.
yeah. So you
Save
passed.
or
I was
die.
like, okay, cool, 36. Like you still took some
Cool.
hurt, but yeah, no, straight up just insta kill.
I was gonna say 3d6 could have been deadly.
Yeah, no, there's a reason why
Yeah.
Bari was like, that is the most dangerous thing we've seen so far.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. That was very fun. Great job, Martin. I'm glad you survived. Both between that snake and that torturer, I did not know how that was gonna go.
No.
That could have been real bad. But yeah, that was fun. And I'm excited for next week.
Yes.
All right. Goodbye, guys.
Great
We'll
stuff.
see you
Cheers,
next
guys.
time.